Hello everyone and welcome for another video of Love and War Games, and today we cover the global update for Armoured Clash. I'm very happy to talk about this. I love Armoured Clash, and we're gonna cover everything that has been updated for each of the factions, plus some generic rules and everything. Not gonna go too much in details, but this way you have an overview of what has changed and what's been rebalanced. The game was not perfectly balanced, it's true, but it has gotten better and better with time. And now they made this update to basically boost what was not played, and there were something that were really better than others. And yeah, it's a whole new meta, which with the stronger things becoming a bit weaker and the weaker things becoming stronger. I think it was made quite well, and we will see indeed what has changed. It coincides like it's at the same time as the release of the Alliance OrBat, the final version post beta. There is the video if you want to have a look of how to start with the alliance. It didn't make a good score at all in terms of view. A bit sad, like Armored Clash doesn't make as many views as other games. So if you see this video, thumbs up, put a comments and everything to really boost the algorithm, guys, and try to push Armored Clash the same levels as Conquest or Epic or Dystopian Wars and all these other games. Let's try to boost Armored Clash as well because it's a really great game and it deserves it. So I said we will not spend too much time, but we'll first cover the blog article which was released, which prompted me to actually do this because I realized like not many people are talking about this update. So let's try to give our opinion on this, and then we're gonna take a look at the glossary, like the rules update that have happened, and then a quick look at each of the OrBats from the oldest OrBat, so the Crown and the Empire, all the way to the minor changes that have happened to the Alliance. So one of the first things, so they explain like, hey everyone, oh no, okay, they want to make the most balanced and fun game. Sounds very fair. They did take our feedback like into consideration, which is quite nice. Like you can ask them in the Discord, and they applied like maybe 2 or 3 months later, but they did apply it. Some of the very problematic units or keywords or combinations. So I'm very happy. Like the developers team, I can feel that they really read the Discord and maybe even watch videos and stuff. Like they know what didn't work. So one of the first thing is that across all the OrBats, the commanders, the infantry commanders, are a bit cheaper, especially at larger points scale. For example, you can see that the Ordonanza militia command for the alliance is 50, 70, 90. So you do pay a premium for the base of the privilege of being a command unit compared to the default like 25, 45, 65. And then you just pay plus 20 as you would for a normal unit to increase the size, which is great because otherwise nobody ever played a full strength command because yes, you have a big bubble, great. However, it's so expensive. Like it was like for example, it was like 50, 110, 180 for the points cost. And for a basic infantry that can just disappear like this, it was just nobody wanted that. And well, indeed, now it's much, much more reasonable. Yeah, they say most commander variants is now 65, 90, 120, which is great. It's absolutely logical to have an upfront from the beginning because it unlocks slots and battle groups and stuff. But allowing to upgrade the size without just killing your bank is great. All the behemoths as well have had an update. For example, they increased the VPRs that you win when you kill them for some faction, including the Empire. Our Empire player didn't have receive his army yet because we have so many painting projects, and so we didn't have to play. We didn't get to play it yet, but good for this. And all the behemoths got a point decrease, which is probably for the better. Zongo, if you watch the video, I know you complained a few times in our battle report that the behemoth did not do enough for the point cost. Well, the developers listened to you and to all the other players, and yeah, behemoth now give you more points when you kill them, but they cost less points to field. So that is great. There is also some new weapons loadout and stuff. We'll take a look at this when we check the OrBats like in detail. But for example, here they say for the whales, so this giant thing, they buffed the coruscating lasers, which is great, and you don't have to overcharge it every time. Though, of course, if you're a Covenant player, of course you want to overcharge all the time. But yeah, we'll take a look at the different stats change a little bit later. They boosted as well the trains for the Union, especially some set things like full steam ahead, which like you didn't want to use it. Now it's a bit better, and they have a new rule that allows you to keep carrying on even if something has been destroyed. Yeah, for example, here they say the first carriage is destroyed and the whole thing fell apart. For example, if you shot this first thing behind the locomotive, which was easy to break, and then everything like was detached, kinda. Now you can carry dead weight, but it means there is no more this super strong weakness. Amazing. I mean, I did like the train before. I'm not a big fan of trains in general, like honest. But I really didn't find a cool way. I wish it was something else than a train for the union. And now they're like, okay, you know what? Let's make some rules so you don't feel bad fielding trains. Okay, very well. I will try it again. This was a huge thing. Direct fire artillery. Every orbit, almost you heard me making a review. It was like, okay, here is indirect artillery and direct artillery. And every time I said, like, use the indirect because at least it will survive more than a turn before the opponent obliterates you. And you can have the choice of targets, and you can choose the opposing targets, indirect artillery and stuff. So much benefits in choosing indirect instead of direct. Well, apparently they played it with the point cost. All the direct fire artillery is now significantly cheaper. As they say, it used to be the same cost as a tank. And do you want a tank with a little bit, and not even all the time, but sometimes a little bit less firepower, or do you want an artillery that, okay, maybe it has a couple dice more, but will die the first time someone looks at it funny? Well, every time you chose the tank. So we'll take a look if the points cost change are significant, and will make it better. And also, for example, the Armstrong heavy artillery received a slight buff. Okay, good, very good. Like indeed, the Armstrong, you've seen it in one of our battle report. The Armstrong was so bad. Oh no, we didn't film that. My bad. We did some other games, and one of them I tried to play the Armstrong, and it was so terrible. Oh my god. We also have this. I'm very happy with this. I kept asking on Discord, like, guys, is why we cannot play planes on the first turn. Like if we don't have time to play long games, etc., it means you never see them. And we had some answer from the developers team saying like, okay, but do just custom rules. And I'm very happy that now there is this new rule, rapid response, which allows you to play it in the first turn and in the last turn as well. Also, some point decrease, similar to artillery, and even bigger discounts when you field large numbers of airplanes. Very, very happy with that. We'll take a look also during the OrBats. Then some more specific units change. For example, the Bolnabangs winged infantry have gotten a boost, and they are more like fast skirmishing artillery, jumping from cover to cover. So no, they are not bulky anymore, which doesn't change huge. They gained Stalker though, which is really good. And yeah, as they say, Stalker and Shrouded means you can just put them in cover somewhere and then tell, okay, well, try to come and get me now. Yes, they get their on the lookout status because Stalker is when you move, when you finish your activation without shooting, you gain on the lookout. So yeah, it really helps as a first wave infantry to secure terrain while your massive numbers of cheap infantry takes the terrain, which is very good because yeah, the Empire is quite slow. They don't have transports and stuff, so yeah, very good. The Siege Breaker weapon quality has been reworked. That is a big one. Siege Breaker was quite insane. And yeah, now it's quite interesting. Like before, well, you've seen in a battle report. Sometimes you didn't kill anyone in a building, and you just though you have a siege breaker, so the building pops off. Nobody dies, not in the attack, not in the escape from the crumbling building, but you just break the building very easily without any damage to anyone. Now it has been changed. You need as many heroic as the building size, so 2, 3, 4, etc., etc., and then it becomes erect, and then you have extra casualties basically as much as the size of the building. So that's better. It's harder to break the building. However, when it happens, then it's going to kill more people. That is really cool. I'm very happy with that. They've also, they said, expanded the number of units with the Occupy, kind of like this very rare so far units with Occupy that allows you to go inside a wrecked building. And I think it also allows you to go inside wrecked behemoth. So that's really cool to have more infantry units with Occupy. And they've given to the Royal Engineer Sappers demolition because they didn't have enough special rules. Like I feel like this is the ultimate infantry unit in the game, the Royal Engineer Sappers, and they're even better now with demolition. Another boost is for the fire teams, so for the Union. The fire teams, yeah, the signature element of the Union army. I would agree. I would agree. Now the rules are in the Union OrBat. Okay, very well. They have now low profiles, which means you cannot shoot at them as long as they remain within 3 inches of their parent unit. Very good, because before you could like shoot at them if you had an angle and stuff. It was a bit annoying, but now they're even better than before. Uh, did they need this? I don't know. I don't know. I know that our local crown player, Zongo, loved to say that their fire teams are way too strong. Maybe they were, but now at least they're even like they're really a signature part of the union. They also changed some boons. For example, Forlorn Hope does not give Vanguard 10, which indeed was huge on very slow unit. It gives your first, like a free first turn movement +2. So yeah, you are a bit faster, but you will not go from like speed 5 and boom, you do 10. It's like 2 turns worth of speed. Or vice versa. You were a super fast unit, you didn't care about Forlorn Hope because you would go fast anyway. So it's just your speed +2, and that's great. Then there is the tactical brilliance one, which was not insane because it was only for the first turn. It was not impactful. First turn, nothing happens usually, not much. And now it's completely different, and it allows you to have an extra card each turn, and then you discard one. So that's great. You do run the risk of, as they say, running through your deck faster. Though, from experience, unless you have a massive point scales and you do moral test left and right all the time, you don't usually run out of cards, from my experience. And yeah, it's quite good. You have a better control of your cards, but yeah, you do run through your cards faster. That's interesting. The rules for withdrawing have changed as well, so they are like quite a significant change, I would say. They were a little bit complex. Now it's very easy. If you lose melee and you want to withdraw and stuff, you move the officer, so the leader, 3 inches away from the winning unit. Okay, and then everything else is reformed around you in coherency. And animals that cannot be set up is immediately destroyed. So as they say, it can allow you to make some tricks with cavalry and stuff to just obliterate, depending on where you charge. You can obliterate entire units if you can make them, if you can run them down between the hammer and the anvil. It will reward, it will boost a little bit the melee cavalry, like the impact cavalry, and it's just easier like this. Like just move 3 inches away with your officer from the enemy unit directly straight, and everybody reforms, and everybody that cannot reform is destroyed. Quite good, quite good. For the terrains, two main things. First of all, there are now hills for the elevation, which is part of the rule, so it allows you to see a bit higher, etc., and it blocks line of sight. Okay, very well. And the building capacity has been removed. So you can doesn't matter the building capacity. You can always garrison your infantry inside the building, and bulky doesn't count as twice, etc. I'll be honest, that's how we played already. Like we didn't want to count like, okay, this building can have 8 bays, this building can have, I don't know, 12 bays, etc. We were already playing our local meta, including our battle reports. Like just go inside the building, whatever. And now it's the official rules. I never complained about this. We just had this in our local meta. I think we're not the same if it is now part of the official rules. Oh, another change for the Imperium, Tau and Limber, so the fact that you can carry your artillery, small artillery gun behind your trucks, has changed. Indeed, they say like, yeah, you spend too much time moving and deploying, it's cool, but that's not amazing. Now what they say, it's actually during deployment, that's a bit better. So if you have the rule tow, it allows you to give a field gun vanguard move and then put them on the lookout, which is actually, yeah, it's very good. You have a unit with a tow limber, it allows you to give vanguard to artillery, which is amazing. Much easier to play. You don't spend some time just moving and not shooting, which is great, and you get free on the lookout. I mean, amazing. This is extremely strong. Yeah. I wish I had this on my armies. Imperium player, I think. Well, once again, you have been favored by the gods of Warcradle, and you have an incredibly strong rule, Vanguard, and on the lookout from the beginning of the game with all your very good light artillery. I mean, probably now the best light artillery of the game, probably. And as I said, there are a few things that is more granular about the changes in the game. They say check the changelog at the OrBats. That's what we're going to do. The rules errata, this is very small. We're not going to check it. And the updated glossary and special rules and quality. So we're going to take a look first at the glossary and then at the OrBats, as we have said, but we have seen the small changes. Now let's go a bit more in detail. All right, here we are. I love the little artwork. Here we are in the glossary of all the special rules, and we will indeed take a look right here. You know what I'm going to do? Okay, can I stay here, and this I will Control F to check if we need to check a rule. All-out attack can no longer be used if the unit is suppressed. Okay, that sounds strong. There are some units, especially I'm thinking of giant units, that will be very upset at this, or I don't know, Imperium tanks, or many units will be very sad to lose this. It gives more strength to suppressed. Very good. I'm just realizing maybe it would be better if I zoomed. All right, so indeed, we said about all-out attack. Good. They say now Bulwark has been altered to take into account the size of the unit, attempting to make a shooting. Like Bulwark allowed you to kind of like block enemy shooting attacks. What do they mean? Yeah, only models that count as one size larger and blocks the line of sight. Okay, so indeed it's exactly what it does. So you can no longer block everything with Bulwark, which sounds fair. Bulky no longer restricts units from garrisoning a defensible building. We've talked about this. Chain of command, in addition to the benefit, gives +1 to the discipline. Okay. So you have a bubble of +1 to the discipline, and on top of that, for yourself, you have +1. So your commanding units have super high discipline, which, I'll be honest, sounds absolutely fluffy. Containment chambers has been removed and replaced with restricted access X. Some units that are this have containment chamber trait. Okay, so now we have a restricted access, which is probably about the same thing. Yeah, the unit can only carry units with the X traits. Okay, little trick we don't have to check. Limber has been removed from the glossary. Indeed, this is what we've said about the Imperium. Now it just gives a Vanguard and a free on the lookout. Okay. Rules for fire teams are in the Union Orbat. Okay. Forward X has been clarified. Good lord, is this clarified? Oh, it's like forward deployment, forward pull, and forward. Okay, you can indeed make forward deployment, and if you're very lucky, it's anywhere on the battlefield, and if you're very unlucky, it's in your deployment zone. You can even deploy with 1 point of damage. Okay, it's your forward deployment rule. We'll not go too much in detail, but okay, it's been clarified indeed. It's a dice roll. Azardus Aura has been renamed Hoarfrost Aura, okay, because it was only for the Commonwealth, and now you really feel it's only for the Commonwealth. And inhuman units like the Berserks are unaffected, but still the same. Okay, very well. Hot-headed has been clarified with regards to aircraft and suppression. This is for the Union aircraft, and it was quite good. And what does it mean? It can be suppressed and can even be suppressed by opportunity fire. Uh, okay, it's okay, the same concept, but they really it can be suppressed. Yes, even by opportunity fire, which is the only way to give them suppressed anyway. Were people really contesting this? Inhuman trait has been removed. No, inhuman as a special rule has been removed, and it's now a inhuman trait. Just some clarification to make it easier. Irregular now allows a unit to make a weakened ranged attack in any direction. Huh. That's okay. It kind of like gives you turret. That's interesting. It's a weekend, but okay. Your irregular units that are spread out and not in close order can now shoot in any direction, kind of like if they were like skirmishers or something in the old world or something. Really nice, really nice. And it's fluffy as well. Love it. Occupy now allows a unit to garrison a wrecked behemoth as well as a wrecked defensible building. Wasn't this always the case? I'm really excited with Occupy being a more common rule. So let's take a look. Yeah, it's yeah, pretty good. They also have demolition when you can target a defensible building and try to break it. Sure, this we knew. Open top rule has been amended to specify that embarked units cannot make attacks if the transport made a double time. Did someone contest this? Oh my god, yes, it sounds very fair. But people were really trying to break the game. Parent unit has been updated for fire teams in addition of the commander variants. Sure, probably nothing changed much. Run amok, so the things with berserks fighting enemy units, like basically all uncontrollable units. This has been amended to clarify how and when these units take damage. Okay. Units with these special rules can now only embark in transport with containment chambers where they're really locked until they can be released. Love this. Okay, doesn't change much more, just clarification. Shockwave now triggers a suppression test on charge maneuver as well as a double time maneuver. Okay, so it was Shockwave did make so you couldn't make double time. Now, if you charge, get a suppression test as well. Quite good. You're very happy, Commonwealth players, with that. When a unit declares that it will soar using the Soar X special rule, it is now prohibited from making aim, embark, or disembark maneuver. Huh. Funny. Like I really feel like it's weird interactions. Did people really try to make soar and they just, I don't know, dive inside a transport? I mean, technically you could if it boosted your speed, but yeah, I understand why it has been clarified to keep the coherency. Some wording has been clarified, probably it's exactly the same rule. When they say clarify, it doesn't change. And the Tau/Limber rules from the OrBat Imperium has been greatly simplified. The Limber has been removed, and streamlining of Tau X just being Tau. Let's check this new Tau rule. Before deployment begins, this unit's general can nominate a single friendly gun carriage, which cannot have a high reinforcement. Okay. The nominated unit has been towed into position before the battle, and the towed unit gains Vanguard 10, which is huge and on the lookout. Okay, so it's exactly what they said. It's extremely strong. And some weapons qualities have been changed. Full steam ahead now has 3 dice per carriage instead of 2, so it can start to pile up. Reactive now causes a unit to gain a reloading token after making an attack. Okay, I think it's been clarified, but it was kind of implied that it would do this anyway. The wording of penetrating has been expanded to exempt fortification units as well as Behemoth from its deadlier effect. Ah, okay. Indeed, it is less stronger penetrating against Behemoth and fortifications. I guess that before it did allow you to really make a very little, like you can spam penetrating weapons and kill Behemoth relatively easily. Okay. So Behemoth and fortifications are stronger against mass penetrating weapons, sure. Siegebreaker now take into account the size of the defensible building, blah, blah, blah. Okay, let's take a look at Siegebreaker. They did explain what they wanted to do, and yeah, it's exactly what we talked. So, indeed. Units that are suppressed can no longer make attacks that are slow to fire. Okay, that's okay. Yeah. So, if you are slow to fire and you have all-out attack, let's say you are Giant Castle from the Crown, you will be very sad to be suppressed. All right, that's it for the glossary. Deep dive into the different OrBats, and we'll start with the crown. What is up with the crown? The sovereign landship has higher VPR, 9, wow. And the point cost is now 4-3. I have to admit, I don't remember the exact point cost before. I would have to check on my videos. Oh my god, this artwork is amazing with the pride ends above. Oh my god, the pride is such a cool unit. The rifle platoon has been reformed to clarify like the new appearance of all the commanders, and the point cost, as they announced, is 65, 90, 120. Very good. Royal Engineers, Royal Engineers gain demolition. Sure, why not? Galahad Breachers, their siege breaker ranged attack is now 4-8-12. Okay, good. Monarch is cheaper. The Mordred heavy artillery is also cheap. Mordred artillery is 110. Let's compare now the Mordred and the other one to make sure if they didn't lie about the Bombard. Indeed. Okay. The Bors is cheaper alone, but then it scales up quite fast because yeah, you can really make one big attack. And the Mordred starts higher if you just want to have a little artillery position, and it goes up to 240, which is not insane when you compare to Galahad tanks, which can go all the way to 405. Okay, I like it. And the boons is what they said. And the Defiant Squadron is 8120. That's cheap. 120 for 2 Defiants. That's really, really cheap. 170 for 3. Wow. I mean, you do have the most bonus for having just one of them. So yeah, I understand why the point cost, but yeah, love it. For those who don't know, like the fighters can be shot down easily by anti-air weapons. Now you will be a little bit less sad when you lose them. Okay, so only buffs for the crown. Like I mean, everybody got buffs in the things that have been said, but yeah, good things for the crown. Lots of changes. The green banner has been updated, as we've said. Laotian landship is cheaper. 470 is still expensive. The guard banner, green banner guard platoon has a commander variant, sure. The Bolnabang, as we've said, they're not bulky anymore. They gain Stalker. Their corrosive fumes is a bit larger, which is nice, and their ranged light attack is stronger. With a Stalker, like, I mean, wow, huge boost for the ball in the bank without a points increase. If you liked your little Da Vinci flying infantry, you're gonna be even happier. The Wutai, same thing as always, cheaper points, but you gain more victory points if you destroy it, sure. The Green Banner Flame team doesn't have Storming Party anymore, but Occupy. Flame teams in a building in defensive position is going to be such a hell to deal with. Oh my god, the Yanshao Flame tanks are now siege breakers. Well, okay, this is great. This is big. I guess your Empire players now have their tanks dedicated to cleaning infantry out of buildings. I mean, before I would say the regular tank was more interesting. Now the flame tanks really have this role of like cleaning infantry and cover in a forest, but also now really in the building. The Sanlei heavy artillery is really cheap now, 100, 160, 220, and now they shoot 8, 12, 16. I mean, the first 100 for 8 dice is good, but 220 for 16 is good as well. Woo, like spicy artillery. And the Doksuri are also extremely cheap, 70, 105, and 170. Again, having two aircraft is great. Veteran 1, which allows you to have rerolls, becomes Veteran 2. Boost. Again, everybody got boosted a little bit. They didn't nerf the strongest thing, they boosted the rest, which, I mean, okay, fair, fair. So big boost for the Bolna Bangs, the Flame Tanks, and the Sunlay, but this we knew. But specifically, the Flame Tanks, I'm very happy for them, and the Bolna Bangs, amazing now. Now, my faction, or at least the one that I'm playing now, the Union, what did we gain? We know Full Steam Ahead got boosted. Let's take a look. Same thing with the Federal Trooper Command Platoons, blah, blah, blah. Okay. The Lakota is now 215. I think it got cheaper. It was already quite good. The Houston Firebase is now more expensive with a discipline of 6. Uh, Makes sense. New Haven forward garrison at 70, sure. Lots of points changed. I think it's been points increase, all of that, like 5 points or 6 or 10 points. Need to check if it had been changed. The Corsair at 90, 135, and 210 is a steal now, absolutely. We don't know if they could put is now 50 in basket was 45 before. It would be really convenient for the next part because, well, even if I look up, I cannot find the old points cost anymore. I think it's point increase everywhere because they were already quite good. It would be insane to reduce the price of the New Haven forward garrison, which was already extremely good. The Armstrong 90, 145, 200. It's basically they give it to you now. Oh my god. And ranged light and range heavy are now a short range of 24 and long range of 48. Finally. Finally. Oh my god, that's great. And the anti-heavy dice pool 6, 10, 14. Good. Okay. Now I want to play my Armstrong. The Kodiak, let me take a look. This was terrible before. It's now 115, 25, and 300. Okay. And the long range attack of 26 and short range of 2. So it has gained indirect, lock on, and turret. Oh, lock on. Interesting. Interesting to give it a lock on and turret to change it from other artillery. Huh, so it's first of all it's indirect, which is huge. Like I thought it had it before, but now it really has interesting role for hunting. It doesn't care about being in cover or not, the Kodiak, because it's a big tank. But now it can hunt enemy. It can go in the middle and hunt the enemy indirect artillery that is hiding on the opposing side of the table. Love it. And lock-on is great with turret. It can be like also like indeed an interception force. I want to check the anti. We'll check the Kodiak in a second. New Haven is still the same. Blah, blah, blah. Heavy rail. They have this thing, hold dead weight. There is this new rule that allows you to continue without being forced to decouple. And the fire team is what they said. Let's take a quick look at the Kodiak, guys. First of all, when we compare to the price, it is much cheaper than the other variants of the tank. Sounds very fair. They cannot shoot, sadly, around. The anti-light attack is 4, 8, 12 indirect lock-on turret, and the anti-heavy is 3, 5, 7, which, okay, 3, 5, 7 is not insane, especially when you have the Rolling Thunder, which is 5, 10, 16 with turret, but it's not lock on, and it's not indirect either. And yeah, the Armstrong now shoots really far, 48 inches for 14 dice. I mean, this is now probably a dedicated anti-behemoth weapon. Like, just make a line of artillery in the forest or anywhere. 14 dice every turn at 48 inch. You're like telling the enemy, like, come on, get closer, get closer. Let's see what happens. Love it. We continue with the Covenant of the Enlightened. So we have the usual changes for the command units here. Okay, very well. Oh my god, lots of changes for indeed the behemoth. Okay, the scythe drone being insanely cheap for what it can do. You can really sacrifice it easily. And yeah, the main changes are indeed for the horsel and the whales. So the VPR is higher, the point costs are cheaper. 410, 425 is quite good. Defense has changed to 3 and damage limit to 18. I don't have the old OrBat here, but I do believe that defense was 4 and damage limit was lower. You know what? I'm gonna check my old videos. Is it terrible to do? Yeah, this is a Love and Wargames Inception. I check on my old indeed stats, and you don't see everything here. But yeah, it used to be damage limit 3, sorry, defense 4, damage limit 12, the wells. And yeah, it has absolutely changed. Now it has lower defense, but more hull points. So, okay, sure. And it used to be 420, 55 points and 12 VPR. Didn't it go down in VPR as well? It did. It absolutely did. It went down in VPR as well. So it's cheaper and it gives less VPR. Okay. And the damage headers on the armament grids are now 16, 17. Okay, so they update the damage score because it has more hull points. Okay, sure. So the wheels, same here. All out attack 2 is now all out attack 3. Impressive. So it can really like shoot all around the whales. And ranged light slash heavy now has short range 22 and its attack or 6, 8, 12. So it means this attack got a boost. It was 4, 8, 10. No, sorry, it was 4, 6, 8. Now it's 6, 8, 10. So 12. So huge boost indeed. And on top of this, but it's only when it's really fresh, then it will go down very fast to the lower level. But while it's really fresh, it's very powerful. It's always going to be short range because maximum range is 22 as well, same as the heat lances, let's say. And yeah, huge boost, like really big boost of the behemoth. I'm happy they're trying to promote this type of playstyle because before infantry spam was the competitive way. I like that they try to boost the big miniature that we all want to see on the table, at least one. Okay, so big boost of the behemoth of the Commonwealth. The rest stays about the same. The Imperium got the boost of all boosts with the Tau. They said that many more units have Occupy now. I didn't notice this. Or maybe they didn't put it, but no, they would put Occupy on some units in the keywords or stuff. So the usual changes for the Scion Grenadier platoons, tractors, gun carriages. The False Vitruvian Colossus is cheaper, okay? And they changed indeed the limber rule, the tractor trait, etc., and the aircrafts are cheaper. Okay, no massive surprising change here. They did boost a bit the command platoon, sorry, the grenadier platoons for the Imperium. Probably they were a bit too weak. 5, 10, 15 is good. We're reaching the end of this update with the Commonwealth. So what changed for our friends from the north? The Legacy of the Khan commander bonus has been rewritten to allow units to use Eat and Run X while on the lookout. Okay. It's, yeah, very, well, they're fragile, but it's very good. The Myron is no longer fortification, it is now armor, so easier to put in your list, but it also makes them less immune to the penetrating force. They're also 30 points cheaper. Here it's good. Points cost have been reduced from 455 to 425. Please do this for all the OrBats. It's very good. And no, here they decide 65, 90, 120 without telling us the previous point cost. A bit sad, like so close. The boons are okay, the same. The of Sharka War Dogs. The slow to fire weapons quality has been removed from the heavy attacks. Note that the reactive weapons quality is basically the same. So okay, it's just clear. It's one rule instead of being separated in two. Okay. Cheaper cost as well to upgrade the Heshig Skycutter. Good. The Ajdaya Berserkers don't have the Inhuman special rule, but the Inhuman trait. Okay, bulk has been removed. No surprise there. The Mammoth fortification becomes armor. Sure. Containment chambers become restricted access Inhuman and containment chambers trait. It does mean it can only carry. Wait a second. Is this a nerf? It is a nerf, isn't it? Restricted access. You can only carry a unit with the X trait. So the Mammoth can only carry now units that are inhuman, thus berserks. I thought they could carry other types of units before, and it's no longer spacious because they don't care anymore. I think it's a nerf. Was it too strong? It means you cannot carry, like we had this little Matryoshka thing where you could carry transport. I'm a bit sad that but it is like this. Okay, your Mammoth is now dedicated to carry berserks, which is very strong. The points cost has been reduced and stuff, but I'm a bit sad about it. And the Cometa Interceptor, the point cost at all reinforcement level has been reduced. Yeah, but tell us, what is the new points cost? uh, Need to have some coherence in how you write your beta changelog. I really like this. Like, guys, if you watch this video, the point cost has been reduced from 455 to 425. Do this. Like, even if it's the point cost has been reduced from 80, 150, 200 to 65, 90, 120. That would be very clear. Very, very clear. Maybe a couple more lines, but it would be very good. Especially for change log. Like, it takes some space, okay, but we don't care. It's a change log. We want to see what really like the change. And it's now 80, 135. That's insane. I'm very shocked at how cheap it is. And 185 for 3 Cometa interceptors. That's really good. And let's finish with the Alliance. I think nothing much has changed, I hope, since the last time. Yeah, rien à signaler. Eh ben, très bien. Très bien. What is this signature? Our commander, which is extremely cool, François Lemarie, is telling us, yeah, rien à signaler. Eh ben, okay. So it's exactly what we said before. By the way, many of you guys have commented on the video and on the Discord saying like, yeah, I've kept saying that the Ghent should be able to carry both units for the alliance, like both a unit of cavalry, small, and up to 16 of infantry. They said rule as written, it's not possible, and it's true. It's true. Rule as written, there is something weird because carrier says you can be loaded or unloaded, and the fact of carrying infantry is occupied, unoccupied. This is why you could be arguing one way or each other. But if you check the rules of a carrier, it says you cannot carry more than one unit, which is another keyword. It's not even a keyword anyway. Yeah, a carrier X cannot carry more than one unit. And does carry apply also for the infantry? Probably yes. Rule as written, I would agree that there is more chances that this is the truth. However, I think rule as intended, it's supposed to be able to carry a couple reinforcements level of infantry and a small unit of cavalry. That is how I would understand as the fluff. However, indeed, don't play it without warning your opponent first. Like, try to uh, optimize together and talk to each other. The objective is to have a fun time, isn't it? All right, guys, we have checked everything already. Yes, we didn't deep dive too much about what it means for the meta and stuff, but basically, if I had to sum it up, good balance changes, more behemoth on the table, more commanding units because they were terrible before, more direct artillery units, and a couple changes. Nerf to the transport deep strike of the Commonwealth, boost for the Imperium and their towed artillery, and yeah, the Empire gets a couple buffs like buffs left and right. I would say the Union as well is a bit better now for the trains, but the real strength of the Union is never been the train; it's been the mechanized infantry and more play around broken terrain and destroying buildings and stuff. So that's a good update. It doesn't change fundamentally how the games is. In 6 months there will be another update and more units are coming and stuff. But I like that they streamlined things and they make it less obvious what units must be take or not. They boosted units that were terrible, like the Kodiak tank, direct line of sight artillery like the Armstrong or the Empire direct artillery and stuff. I like that they boosted what was really strong instead of nerfing the things that were really maybe too strong. So like this, I'm really excited to play some more Armored Clash. Our armies are being painted. The Enlightened is underway. I've seen the progress on the Empire army. It's basically done. Just needs to be finished, but there's some priorities left and right all the time. And I'm very excited and looking forward to bring you some battle reports of different factions. Soon, my alliance is being built as well as we talk, and I really am excited to bring you those units. Thank you very much, guys, for having watched until the end. You know that you can put thumbs up and a comment to really boost us because our Armored Clash videos don't work so much. So, guys, show me that you like the game and thumbs up and comments and subscribe and all the things that you usually know. Thank you very much. Until the next video, take care of yourself and remember to keep all things fair in love and war games. Bye.